if you don't love what you have so much that you feel bad if you don't give it to people, if you don't really obsess on the hook to get people to stop, if you don't really obsess on the story that's compelling that people want to listen to and why you're the person or your product, if you don't have the bridge to go from the story into the close, if you don't have a concise benefit-driven CTA, then you really just have a great idea. You have a great passion, you have a great desire, but you don't have all the pieces you need to have sustainable success in your life.
This is The Fighting Entrepreneur, the podcast dedicated to entrepreneurs looking to change the world. Learn how to start, build, and scale a business in today's highly competitive business environment. Here's your host, The Fighting Entrepreneur, Anik Singal.
What's up, you crazy fighting entrepreneurs? Guess who it is? Your favorite person in the whole wide world, Anik Singal, back with yet another episode of The Fighting Entrepreneur. And today you are in for another treat brought to you by Thunder, WebinarCon.com, WebinarCon.com. The replays from the event that was said to be the best event of the year are still available to you if you'd like to go grab yourself a seat in the replay section. We're releasing the keynote, as you've noticed, and today it's an awesome presentation. You got to listen. So we're going to just bring that into this episode, bring that into the Fighting Entrepreneur podcast. Dean Graziosi was one of our keynotes, and we are so blessed and so grateful to having had him be there. His whole presentation, can you believe this? Now, if you don't know Dean, let me tell you, I've known Dean since before I was an internet marketer, because you would watch TV and you'd listen to the radio and you'd see the guy. I'd see him at night on infomercials. I'd see him on the radio. He'd run local events. I've been to one of his events. And I can't believe that now I'm actually connected to him, talk to him, work with him, and he's a keynote at one of my events. But he's going to teach you in a minute now on how to get 1,000 buyers a week using infomercial-style videos for social media. What a killer presentation. Amazing keynote presentation. All right, so here's the deal. Make sure you're a member of Lurn.com, Lurn.com. Make sure you click subscribe, click the thumbs up icon if you're on YouTube right now. Come on, leave me a comment. Make sure you hit the bell icon. Let's do this. This is the race to 100,000 subscribers on this channel. Whew, YouTube makes me work for it. All right, and then make sure onicpodcast.com for all your binge listening, and then make sure WebinarCon.com. Their presentations were all keynote worthy. Grab the replays. They're not going to be around for too long. All right. So without further ado, I'm going to push things over to Dean. Mr. Dean, take it away.
What's up? Hey, it's Dean Graziosi coming to you from home. Where else would we all be in these crazy times? And if you're here at this amazing event, I'm guessing you'd love to learn some capabilities, some skills, habits, hacks on how to sell better, market better, influence, impact, persuade, whatever you want to call it, get more people to say yes. And I'm really excited to deliver some capabilities today that I learned over the last 30 plus years of being in sales, being an entrepreneur, last 23 years of being in direct response. How the hell do I become someone who can stick around for all those years, right? I did my first infomercial in 1998. I did an infomercial because there was no internet. There was no Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, iTunes. It was the only way. It was that or like smoke signals, right? Or direct mail. So I'm really excited to share today how you can make real lasting impact, right? If you have a really good product with horrible marketing, you don't go anywhere. Your business is a dream. Like the movie A Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come. That might be in a movie. That's not in real life. You can build the greatest product, write the greatest book, create the greatest course. If you don't have great marketing, you won't be sustainable. But also on the other side, if you obsess on marketing and you're the best on the planet and know how to run ads, you know the science side and the art side, but your product's okay or just good, you'll make a little money. You'll be a flash in the pan. Maybe you do, $100,000 a month someday, but it won't last. So what I want to share today, I want to get real and raw with you. If you want to do this, if you don't want to dabble, if you want to burn the boats, if you want to be the best, if you want to make this something that truly delivers value to the world and allows you the freedom and control you want of your time, then what I'm going to share today might be the most important thing you've ever learned. Now, maybe what I'm sharing today as well, you've heard somewhere. I get that. But have you ever heard it from someone who's been doing this for over 2 decades? Not someone who's just started an internet business. I've been blessed to be in this industry since 1998 and have done pretty darn well, failed miserably in between, and right now have more momentum than ever before. I don't know if you saw the launch I did with my dear friend Tony Robbins, the KBB launch, the biggest launch in internet history. I don't know if you just watched the challenge Tony just did, the comeback challenge. I orchestrated and laid that whole challenge out. I think it's the biggest challenge anyone's ever done. And we're going to a UPW virtual that I think it's the largest it's definitely the biggest UPW. It might be one of the largest online trainings that's ever happened. How does all that happen in different platforms? Direct response, infomercials, direct mail, radio, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. That's what I'm going to share with you today. But before we get to some of those tactics, I got to say this. Before I share anything, I'm going to ask you to step up. I'm going to ask you to step up. And what I mean by step up is I want you to absolutely be in love with what you offer to the world. Not just like it, not just think it's good, not think it's good enough. You want one of my unfair advantages? You might see my book ads everywhere. You might see KBB ads everywhere, my live events everywhere. I love offering that. My enthusiasm is real. It's not manifested. I don't fake hype. It's because I know if I don't get people to say yes to read Be a Real Estate Millionaire back in the day, or Millionaire Success Habits, the book you've probably seen everywhere, or my new book, The Underdog Advantage, or get into KBB, or take advantage of other courses we have. If I don't do that, I can't serve them. I can't help people with capabilities to grow. I know if I don't get them to say yes, I'm screwing them over. Because the only thing that can happen is they can get a competitor's product that might be inferior or not do anything at all. So I take marketing seriously. In fact, it's been my obsession for over 2 decades. But my life has really grown exponentially, and my income and my impact and my companies, when I really fell in love with the client, when I fell in love with what I delivered to them. So I'm going to ask you to step up. I'm going to ask you when this event is over to really analyze what you're offering to the world and see if you can make it better. If you can lean into their experience, if you can lean into the results they have and really want to serve, especially let's just face what's going on in the world right now. These are uncertain, shifting, crazy times in the world right now. People need you now more than ever. And you have a great opportunity. There's more eyeballs home online than ever before. But here's what I'm going to ask you to do. I'm going to ask you to step up. I'm going to ask you to care more than you've ever cared before in your life. You're like, oh man, I came to watch Dean teach me how to sell better. Guy's telling me how to care. Next channel. Now, you want the real deal? You don't want to be a flash in the pan, buy the Lambo this week and 5 months from now they're repoing it. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm just being real. I'm talking about sustainability. 20 years in making an impact, changing lives, hundreds of millions of dollars. If you want that kind of thing, then you're going to listen. People are uncertain right now. People are scared right now. People need you, and they need you to live inside their head. They need you to answer questions they're asking in here. They need you to finish their sentences. They need to feel understood. So I'm going to tell you, step up how you care. Step up on how you deliver. Step up on how you talk to people. Read hundreds, even thousands of comments that you have or somebody in your genre has. Enter the conversations going on in the mind of your prospect. Enter what they're fearing. Enter their decisions they want to make to go to another level. Enter and understand their goals, their desires, their dreams, but their fears, their worries. Understand what their complexities are, what overwhelms them. Be an absolute study of your prospect. We all build stuff and then figure out the marketing, right? That's just the way it goes. We know what they need, right? A lot of times you think you know what they need. You know how you know what they need is if you read and observe and care. Pretend you're selling to your mom. Every time you go to sell something, you're selling to your mom. Listen, I get fired up about this because everybody wants to know, how did you go from infomercials to crush it on Instagram? And now I see crushing it on YouTube and social media and crush it on LinkedIn and direct mail. One of the things is I really care, especially I'd say the last decade. I've always cared, and I know you do too. But I ramped it up to a whole nother level. Because again, if you build it, they won't come. You must market. And if you're going to market great, you might as well have the greatest product because that's how you grow. That's how you become an anchor in this industry, not someone who jumped in, jumped out, did good for a while. You know, you got to 10 grand a month, 100 grand a month, and you post it and you're excited and then you're struggling to try to find it. You want sustainability. You want depth. And that's what I'm going to share today. I want to share depth because there's nothing more gratifying than having an industry that we could do from home. I mean, I'm home sharing this with you right now. I run my business from here right now. I mean, I have an amazing office, but when COVID hit, the world shifted. And I can do this from home. And so many of you can as well. Like, we have to be grateful for this. Like, honestly, right now, as I'm filming this with you at this event, there's almost 40 million people without a job. There's people that don't know what to do. They lost hope, and you don't. You're in an industry that's going to exponentially grow. I think we deserve to step up our game. I think we deserve to deliver people more. I believe if you're so good at that, delivering more, then you amp up your capabilities on how to sell more, get more yeses, so you can change your life. So that's my little rant before I share a couple things here. Now, I said something before kind of in passing, but I really want you to hear this. I didn't make this up. I don't know where I heard it, but I've been saying it for well over a decade. We really need to, more than ever, enter conversations already going on in the mind of your prospect, and we need to allow people to feel understood. People buy from you when they feel understood, not when they understand you. Okay? In shifting times like right now, with COVID freaking everybody out, with the economy shifting, with jobs being lost, with all that's going on with racism and people really acknowledge it and finally saying, let's fix this, and the world trying to lock arms, which we should, and solve this forever. Like, this is a time it's pretty serious. And if you're out there running, and I see it, if you're out there running an ad that doesn't lean into what's going on in people's heads, you're completely disconnected. I am watching ads that I get embarrassed. I see it, I'm like, change that. Somebody filmed this 6 months ago. Are people having the same conversation right now that they had just 90 days ago, 120 days ago? Are you and your family at home, around the kitchen table, with your friends? Are you talking about the same stuff now that you did 90 days ago? Hell no. So then why the hell would you run an ad today with a message from 90 days ago? You need to be relevant. You need to be listening. You need to be hearing. And it's not about, oh, if I say something, I'm going to insult somebody, or if I say this, lean into who you are, lean into your message, lean into your heart, but listen and stand for something. Stand for your product. Don't make someone feel bad. Don't ignore. Again, what allows me to do that is I probably read more comments than any of you could ever imagine. I want to know what people are thinking. I want to know what their fears are today. I want to know what their desires are today. I want to know where they want to go today. I want to know what's standing in their way today. And if I can address those, then I can. Now, another thing that we always want to remember is my favorite definition of marketing is attracting those you want and repelling those you don't, right? You've heard that. But really lean into that. Don't try to be everything to everyone. Every niche, no matter which one you're in, is bigger than you could ever imagine. Every niche you are in is 10 times bigger than you think it is if you really know how to drill down deep. If you really communicate, if you allow them to feel understood, if you enter their conversations, if you fine-tune those messages, you serve them at the highest level, it's 10 times bigger than you think it is. Okay, so now let's get to something a little more tactical. Not really tactical, but I want to share my philosophy, and you've probably heard this. Maybe you heard it from Russell Brunson. Has a model that he shares, really similar. Russell's a dear friend. I've done great work with Russell. Lots of other people have. I want you to hear it from me. I've been doing video for over 20 years. My first infomercial was 1998. Holy heck, that was 22 years ago, right? And when I started a high-level mastermind, that's when I really got good at sharing and elaborating on what I actually did. I never watched trainings on how to do video. I've just been doing it for a long time, and I do them almost every day, right? So if someone says, what made this video you did? Why did this go viral? Why did this infomercial work? This ad on YouTube, this ad on Facebook or Instagram, why did it go viral? I don't know, maybe if you asked me that 5-7 years ago, I don't know if I would have had the exact answer, but I do now. Because when someone pays you a lot of money for a mastermind or a lot of money to teach them how to be better on video or how to be better at persuading or how do you create marketing that works on all platforms, right? When someone asks you that and paid you a lot of money, you better have an answer. And that's how I can share what I'm going to share with you today. So I'm going to go over a little process here that I call hook, story, close. And I want you to think about this in everything that you do, whether you're filming an ad for online, you're filming the sales video, you're filming your upsell video, you're doing a podcast, you're doing a video on Instagram just to get people to go to your podcast. think of this hook story closed at all times, because let's just start with the hook. Now, the hook to me is nothing more than your grabber, like getting them to stop. Like in a sea of red shirts, how can you be the only one that stands out in a black shirt? When people are swiping 175 miles an hour, why are they stopping on you? Now, there's gimmicks you can use and cool hooks and flash and hold something up or blah, or jumping out of a plane. I lit a book on fire once. It was one of my best ads. And then Russell copied it, and then I stopped playing. I always bust his chops on that. I pulled a book out of the screen on my Tesla once. There were little grabbers, kind of gimmicky, but they're not my best ads. My best ads are when I obsess on the first sentence. So I want to give you a little example that I think will really hit home. But are you obsessing on your hook? You understand, that first sentence or two that comes out of my mouth is the thing I geek out on more than anything else, more than the story, more than the CTA, the close, the call to action. It's that first couple sentences. Why the hell would someone listen to you? I watch all the time. People go right into their story. Hey, it's Bob Jones. And I went through, they tell their stuff. It's like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Next. It's like, what is going to grab me, compel me to stop to listen to you? Think about it. Obsess over it. Obsess over it twice as much. When I'm done today, you're going to go back and look at your best videos and go, it could have been better if I had a better hook. And what is that hook? That hook is really understanding. So I said, read all the comments, enter conversations, finish sentences. What does that mean? What is already going on in their life? What is already pain or what's already a pleasure, right? People make decisions for one of two reasons. They want to move away from pain or they want to move towards pleasure. Get both of those and an opening hook in your niche, you win. They stop. They listen to you. Again, I'm sharing all this stuff with the fact of knowing that you're going to take whatever it is you give to the world and you're going to make it 10 times better, right? If you're selling something that's crappy, please don't use this stuff. Take what you're doing, make it better, then use this. But think about that hook. I'm going to give you an example in real life. So I did an infomercial with Larry King, and that was pretty cool for me because Larry King inspired me to do a different type of infomercial over a decade ago, and it ended up being my biggest show of all time. Well over a decade ago, 2006 or 2007, when the world was shifting back then. I watched Larry King and I'm like, I'm going to do a show that just sit down, no teleprompter, nothing fancy, no fancy graphics, just a sit down interview and tell people to buy my book. It was Be a Real Estate Millionaire. So Larry King inspired me. I built a Larry King set. I bought a Larry King microphone and I did the infomercial. And it was my most successful infomercial of all time. Unbelievable what it did, right? Made that book, I think the best-selling real estate book of all times, 1 million copies. So later on in life, get a little more success. I feel blessed. I get to meet Larry King, mutual friend. I said, hey, want to do an infomercial? He says, yes. I'm so excited. I do an infomercial with Larry King. I geek out on all Larry King's opening. If you don't know who Larry King is, he is the interviewer of interviewers. 50, 60 years of interviews. Every president, every famous person from, all the way through, even up till Lady Gaga and Madonna and like everybody, right? So he used to start his shows with, tonight on Larry King, I'm here with Madonna, and tonight, and he goes in this thing. So I studied all those, and I threw everything I'd been doing for years out the window, and I was just so geeked out and excited to do this with Larry King, who made such an impact on my life, that I started the show that way. Tonight on Larry King. So picture this, we're sitting in my studio, I got the Larry King mic, the Larry King set, and he starts, tonight, my guest is Dean Graziosi. He's a multiple New York Times best-selling author. He's this. He became a millionaire. He did it, da, 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 da. And tonight we're going to cover. And I'm so excited. I'm like, I got like a Larry King show. Woo, woo. And we play that show, bombs. I'm like, oh my God, I know infomercials. I had 18 years at that time into infomercials. How could this not work? So I play it again. I make a tweak, and I'm just not seeing it. Like, why isn't this show working? And then it just hits me one day. I'm like, duh. I didn't obsess on the hook, that first sentence, why the hell do people want to hear Dean Graziosi? A lot of people know me. I'm a multiple New York Times bestselling author. My books have been in millions of people's hands, but most people don't. So why the hell you want to listen to this guy? So I geeked out on that first sentence, and I mean weeks of obsessing, because I'm going to fly Larry King back into my studio just to film the opening line. So I'm going to tell you the hook, the difference. First Larry King show said, tonight on Larry King, I'm here with Dean Graziosi. He's a multiple New York Times best-selling author, father of 2, Started with nothing, went on to do millions of things, great things, blah, blah, blah. That's what it was. Show did okay. Not good enough to roll out. I changed it to this. Have you ever in your adult life looked in the mirror and thought to yourself, wow, I thought I'd be further ahead by now? If you have, you're not alone. Hello, it's Larry King. I'm here tonight with Dean Graziosi. He's going to show you just that. Do you feel the difference between tonight I'm Larry King, I'm going to be with Dean, or have you ever looked in the mirror? That second one, I bet you felt that. I felt it saying it. I changed that hook. That show became a monster hit. Nothing else changed. Guess what? Didn't change the cover of the book. Didn't change the words that were in the book. Didn't change the rest of the show. Didn't change the pages in the book. Didn't change the science of where I was spending money for it. I changed the hook and it became a winner. I want you to think about that. Go back and analyze the videos you're doing. You're going right into the part that most people do, and they go right into what? The story. Now, is the story important? Absolutely, the story is important. But they're never going to listen to your story unless you give them a hook and then give them a reason to stick around. Like a hook to me is like hey, look what I got. And people like a scratch of a record, they stop. And then get them to stop and then intrigue them to stick around. In marketing, they call it an open loop. I didn't even know that until a couple of years ago. Somebody said, nice open loop. I'm like, my sneaker untied? Like, I didn't even know what you meant. So think about opening hook and then an open loop, I guess, of like tonight we're going to share. And I think I had Larry King say tonight, Dean Graziosi is going to share the one thing that's allowed him to have incredible success in his life starting with nothing. Now we can go to my story. Okay, that's hook. Now the story. This is the part almost all of you are good at. The story this is where you share your epiphany. This is where you share how you're good at it. This is where you share why your product's good. This is where you overcome their objections in advance. This is where you're living inside their minds. You're reading their comments. You're reading what they've done. So now you already know this client. You know what they fear. You know what they desire. And this is where you address it. This is where you bring in social proof of somebody that used what you have. And they get to express that. And that gets people intrigued. This is where you tell people again why you're the expert, why this is so important, why they want and need it. This is the part we really enter the conversations in their head. This is the part we really allow them to feel understood. This is the part where we niche down. And like I said, with marketing, we go after those we want and do what else? Repel those you don't want. Listen, if you're somebody that wants to make money for doing nothing, this is not for you. If you want to get rich by hitting a few keys on your keypad, I'm not your guy. If you want to get skinny by taking a pill, I don't have the pill. Like, push away the people that aren't going to use and love what you do anyway. Have the nerve to push them away. Have the nerve to express your vulnerability. In a time like this, when the world is shifting, be more vulnerable than you've ever been. Let people feel your journey. Let people feel your heart. And this could be in your direct response. It could be in your mailing piece. It could be in your emails. It could be in written word, audio, video. It's all the same. It's all the same. People need to know that you understand where they are and you have a path to get there. Listen, all we do is provide a faster path for people. They pay for speed. They pay for speed for convenience. They pay for speed to go faster. They pay for speed to gain knowledge, capabilities, wisdom, a product. So how do we deliver that to him? So that's it. Hook stops him. Story, you're the one. I want to get this from you. Now the next part, if you got the hook and you got the story, the last part is the close, the CTA, the call to action. But I want to give you a little bonus here. And the little bonus is this. You need to have a bridge between your story and your call to action, especially if you're someone who speaks on stage, even on video. I don't care how long you've been selling, and I know some of you are past this, but there's the majority of you, because I've seen this forever, the majority of you, without realizing it, your subconscious, when you get to selling, you feel a little guilty. You do. Watch someone on stage. They talk about their hook. They talk about their story. Oh my God, I was broke and I did this. I was overweight. I did this. I got in an accident. I was sick. I did this. They did this. And then they get to selling. You watch someone on stage and they back up and like, well, and if you'd like to get my product and my service, like they become a different human. like the sale, like they're guilty about the sale. They feel insecure about the sale, and they don't get the sale, right? They don't get the sale. I've watched it happen on stage over and over and over again with people who just have big hearts. You know who Tony Horton is? P90X. Tony's on one of my stages. Love Tony. Tony worked for a year putting a great product together. He gets on my stage, audience is packed, room's filled. Tony lights them up. The guy's 60 years old. He's ripped like he's 30, right? Lights them up. They're on their feet. They're cheering. They're loving Tony. Doesn't like selling. Gets to the end, dying to sell his product. I got an audience they're dying to buy. He gets to the end and he does his hook. Everybody's listening. Does the story. Everybody's listening. Gets to the close and goes, I really don't like selling. But you know what? I worked for a whole year. Let me show you. I worked for a whole year for this product. If you liked what I shared today, this is really good. I worked really hard on it. Again, I don't love selling, but if you want to, all you got to do is go to the back of the room and grab it. Here's what you think. You deliver so much value. They love you. They cheer for you. I don't care if Tony sold hard. I'm going to get it, right? The room was filled. Thousands of people. You know how many sales he made? 3. Because he didn't do a call to action. He was insecure. Why is somebody going to buy your product if you're a little off? And we tend to believe that if we deliver so much value, they'll come running, and they will not. If you build it, they will not come. You need to love what you do so much, like I said earlier, that when it's time to sell, you lean into the sale. You feel bad if they don't buy, and you practice it and you rehearse it. And that's why I love the bridge. The bridge is that little piece that can allow you to cross over. It can allow you to go into that sale like you grease the runway, right? Now, this is a simple analogy. So if Tony Horton would have said, taught about how to get in shape, how to feel better, how to have more energy. He's like, you know what? Oh my God, my time's running up. This is just the tip of the iceberg. I want to give you all of this. If you guys, who wants more energy? Who wants to feel center? Who wants to get in the best shape of their life? Okay, I can't do it all today, but guess what I did? I worked the last year putting something together that can take you to a whole nother level. And again, today I just shared the tip of the iceberg. I want to give you all of it. Let me ask you, who in here would love to have all my secrets? All of a sudden you're asking for permission and they're saying, yes, tell me. And it brings you in a space where you can lean in and be excited to do the call to action, excited to make the offer. If you watch me, you'll see a lot of times when I go into the offer, my energy actually goes up because I know it used to go down. I watch people that have been on stage forever and love sharing. When they go to sell their product, they fall apart, right? So what is that bridge? I've used multiple bridges. I've used a bridge, and this comes from my heart. It's not a gimmick. I've used a bridge where I did my hook. I did the whole story. I don't know if you watched KBB with Tony and I. In that I said the truth. After we told the whole story of KBB, when I was getting ready to go to the offer, I said, listen, if you love what we talked about, I know you're going to need the capabilities. You could do it through your own trial and error, but I know that's costly and it takes a lot of time. And I know if you want another level in this industry, you're going to need help. You're going to need guidance, and you're going to have to work with somebody. If you're going to work with somebody, Tony and I would love it to be us. And if you'd love to work with us to take you from where you are to where you want to go, then I can't wait to show you the course that Tony and I have been working on for over a year now. Here it is. It was just a bridge. It put me in a different state. I felt honored to make the offer, not scared, not embarrassed, or not hesitant. Make sense? If you're in the audience, you might be like, does that make sense? You get that? So now we have the hook, we have the story, and now we have a bridge that greases the runway that goes into the call to action. And what's the call to action? That's just making sure people know what the hell you're offering them. Now, let me tell you a couple keys on a call to action. A lot of people do this wrong when they have a product with a lot of pieces. They read it off like a laundry list, like a menu. And when you get in modular 1, you'll get this. If you get my book, it does this, and this. If you get my product, it's this, and this. It's like you're reading off a laundry list, but you're forgetting to really just talk about the benefit or how they'll feel or what experience they'll have or the results they'll have after they go through it. So if I was talking about KBB, the Knowledge Broker Blueprint, and I could say in module 1, let's say in module 2, where you identify what you're going to offer to the world, right? I could say in module 2, you're going to have a wisdom extractor. You're going to take a process to figure out what you're good at. You're going to identify what that superpower is. After that superpower, you're going to identify who's the ideal client. And after that, you're going to learn tools that you could share with them. Then you're going to learn this thing called the story teach tool model. And I could just list it off. It's amazing what's in that, just that single module. Or imagine if I just said module tool 2. When you start, I don't know if you'll have the confidence or not, but here's what I know. When you're done with module 2, you're going to have the confidence to know exactly what you could share with the world from home. You're going to know exactly who wants it and exactly how to deliver it to them with 100% confidence. 1, laundry list. 1 is what's going to happen when I'm done. What's more powerful? I slip into this all the time. I sometimes go down the laundry list and I can feel it when I'm in it. I'm like, back out, brother. You got to get to the part that's going to benefit their lives. So think about that. How do you make your call to action what are the benefits of getting your product, getting your service, buying your book, coming to your mastermind, getting the course, buying the widget or whatever it is? Obsess on that. So in a call to action, benefit driven. Also in a call to action, if there can be real scarcity, create it. Don't fake it. We're almost out and you got millions of them. That's not cool. You do what's right. Create scarcity if there's some. Change the offer up every month and be like, this offer runs out next month. We'll have another offer, like what I did with KBB. I was like, this offer is going away in a few days, which it was. We stacked on all kinds of bonuses once a year when we launch. The truth is, when the launch is over, all those bonuses go away. Still a great product. We still sell it on Evergreen. People still love it, but they don't get all the same stuff. So create real urgency. Let them know there's a money back guarantee. Here's another thing people forget. They say, so go grab it. Online especially, you got to say, click the link below, watch the video, fill out the information. Here, tell them what to do and make sure there's a money back guarantee. I don't want to oversimplify selling. And I want to share this with you in a really concise way today, maybe different than you've ever heard. I know, listen, there is a science and an art to marketing, to persuasion, to influence. The science side is teachable. You can learn how to book a Facebook ad probably by watching a YouTube video. Or you can hire someone that knows the science. You can hire someone that knows the science on how to do LinkedIn ads or YouTube or how to sell on a podcast. You can figure all that out. You can get ClickFunnels or another service that allows you to build the pages and build the funnel. But if you do all that science, and you don't do the things I shared today on the art side, if you don't care at the deepest level, if you don't want to serve on a whole nother level, if you don't step up your compassion in today's world, if you don't become a role model, a leader, if you don't love what you have so much that you feel bad if you don't give it to people, if you don't really obsess on the hook to get people to stop, if you don't really obsess on the story that's compelling that people want to listen to and why you're the person or your product, if you don't have the bridge to go from the story into the close, if you don't have a concise benefit-driven CTA, then you really just have a great idea. You have a great passion. You have a great desire, but you don't have all the pieces you need to have sustainable success in your life. Guys, this has been so cool. I know I got right to the point today. I hope you have I don't know if they're going to play a replay of this, so you have the opportunity to listen to it again. I hope you do, because I hope you grab the little nuances between the big pieces. Again, you've probably heard a lot of what I shared in different ways in different areas of your life, but take it from someone who's been in direct response for over 22 years. I've been blessed to impact millions of lives, and I'm 51. I have more energy now than I've had my whole life because I'm watching the impact happen. I'm having the ability to communicate with people from home. This is such a blessing. Remember when I did infomercials, I couldn't target people. I didn't know my demographic. I had to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to get on TV and hope someone would go buy a TV when they could skip the channel and actually pick up the phone and call me. You have the opportunity to go after your exact ideal client. You could run an ad tomorrow for $50. I had to spend $100,000 on my first infomercial that I didn't have. Find the blessings in the shifts that are happening today. Be grateful you're alive right now. Want to serve people, want to make an impact, want to do something meaningful in your life. And know you have an unfair advantage. You just don't know it if you're not my age and haven't been in it this long. This is a time for growth. This is a time when real leaders need to stand up. This is a time where we can set a precedent. This is a time where we can shift the world. There's so many things we can do. Be grateful to be alive, serve other people, do something impactful, and take your marketing to a whole nother level. I appreciate you guys so much. Thanks for spending this time with me in my home office, and back to you guys.
Man, did I not tell you? What a killer presentation. We are so blessed here at the Fighting Entrepreneur, at Lurn, at WebinarCon.com to be able to have such amazing people come and give so much value to our community. Thank you, Dean. You are awesome. You are the man. We really appreciate you. Now, for the rest of you, make sure you listen to this again. Make sure you listen to the other keynotes. Make sure you go to WebinarCon.com and get the replays. Make sure you join Lurn.com. It's free. Come on, be a part of this massive community. Be a part of this revolution, this movement, LURN.com. Go to AnikPodcast.com. Make sure you binge listen to all of our amazing episodes. And make sure you click subscribe if you're on YouTube below. Click like, click the thumbs up icon, click the bell icon, leave a comment, tell other people about our podcast. Whew, it's a lot of steps, right? Come on, help us out here, help us grow and reach more people. As I always say, when life pushes you, stand straight, smile, push it the heck back. This is Anik Singal signing off. Until next time, fighting entrepreneurs, go out there and fight for your dreams. See you later.
Thanks for listening to The Fighting Entrepreneur with your host, Anik Singal.